program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Welcome into a very exciting episode of Real Biz. I am your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is musician, influencer, and budding podcaster, Jaron Bell. Jaron, welcome to the show, brother.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm excited to be here with you this morning, my man.
Yeah, well, and we've spent 40 minutes talking about sports and music and social media content and everything.
Why
It was
not?
like, man, I got you for a little while longer. Let's just shoot this episode and get it done.
Let's do it. Yeah, man, I'm excited. And, man, I love what you guys are doing up there. And like I said, I'd love to be in person, but there's no shot you get me in South Dakota in winter. So in the spring you might, but there's no shot you get me at winter, bro.
We need to get you up for the motorcycle rally out in Sturgis, man, and we'll do some content out there. I think that'd be a blast.
Well,
before we get far into everything that you got going on, I know we're going to talk about the podcast that you're working on here, but I want to give you the floor for a second off the top here and just have you give us a little bit of your backstory.
Sure, man. I spent years playing music. I'm a kid from West Texas. I grew up in a little town called Clyde, Texas, and played music. And yeah, I think I have a lot of story with a lot of other artists. I just slugged away and did it by myself for a long time. And then as we got closer to COVID, that big break never came. And I did what every single musician frontman does when their music career is not going great. I sold cars, of course. And so then I just kind of kept at it on the side. And honestly, to be completely straightforward, I thought the dream was over. And then some social media success took off. And instead of just letting that sit by, we just buckled down. And through that, we've built a team around me. And we've got some unbelievable people that I work with. And so we're rocking and rolling. We're doing our thing. We're got a new music. Our new music videos coming out, and we just dropped our first national radio single on Friday called "Guys That Make Her Cry." So you guys go check that out on all streaming platforms. And so we're just moving and grooving, man. And social media has been such a big part of what we're doing. And I think it's part of every artist's career now. But for me, I mean, it's changed everything, man. And we're putting up millions of views, and I'm just so grateful. And and I'm happy to take some time to do this morning.
JB, I think the story is so cool because a similar fashion, man. I'll be 40 in May. So in a lot of ways, I thought that whole dream of being a rock star had kind of passed me by. I quit my job in 2024 thinking that I had the momentum. We had booked a few gigs. The local amphitheater had us on as an opening for Armchair Boogie and playing our original music. And man, I got out on the road at 38 and I was like, oh, I don't want this bad enough to keep doing this in the bars. I was just like, no, it ain't happening. I like to wake up early. I spent too many years in the factory waking up with the sun. And it was like, no, I'm a different man now. But in the meantime, we had started this podcast, and I really fell in love with the conversations and propping up other artists that are just starting out, sharing a little bit of knowledge with them about what I know about the music industry, which isn't a lot, right? I've never had that massive success on my own. I've also never been that money motivated to chase it. I have lived my dream. I've gotten to play on a lot of cool stages. I've gotten to work with some really amazing people. And now I have an opportunity to build a platform for others. And I know that in a lot of ways, it's very similar for you, even as the social media has now taken off and you've had a couple of these viral moments and the momentum is really in your favor, that you're all about reaching down. In a lot of ways, that's what you're doing today and helping out someone who you believe in, and me seeing what we're doing and saying, hey, man, let's do an episode so that I can help you. And you would never pose it that way, but that's what it's going to be for us. And I'm well aware of that fact as well.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be honestly, you're welcome. I mean, I'm here, you're lucky that I'm here. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not, look, man, at the end of the day, I have had both moments of I have met artists that are bigger, a lot bigger than me, and I won't name those names, but and they have treated us, and I don't want to say unfairly, but not well. And then I've ran into groups like the Eli Young Band and Casey Donahue and some of the other acts that I've played with that have been that you were like, man, you know, because I realized that at some point when you're an artist, the thing that I've learned, because we're talking business today, is when the next level comes, it is not what you think it is. There is a lot more things that come with this that you never would think you had to do that you have to do. And there's artists out there that were like, hey man, you need to do this. You should really look into this. Hey, try this, try that. And so I just feel like, my faith really matters to me. I'm a faith guy, and I sure love me some Jesus, as I like to say. And so part of that means I can't do it by myself. I tell people all the time, like I get emotional when I talk about it, but like people come up to me and things have been pretty crazy where I live now, and I can't really go anywhere now without people. They just know, and it's like it's so I always thought that the rock star stuff would be like a great feeling to have somebody want to take your picture. But once you start, when you sit here on a Monday morning at 9:00 and 9:45, and you do this, and after this, I got another thing. And then today's content day. So I got to make some videos today, and I got to post them, and I got to have my post out by 11:15 today, because I was lazy on the Super Bowl Sunday and I didn't schedule for today. So I got to figure it out, and I got to do all that. So when you get a moment that someone's so kind to you or so nice, it's like, it's really not about me. If the people don't show up to listen to what I'm doing or laugh at my jokes that aren't that funny, and they laugh anyways, like none of it matters. And so, we have a thing. We just say that team matters, from the people that sweep up beer cans after my shows, to the people taking tickets, to the guy that stands to my right and plays guitar, to the lady that runs around with a camera around her neck, who's my drummer's wife, and takes pictures of me and does those things and edits those. Everybody matters. Like this, it's not. We always joke, it's not. I always say it's not the Jaron Bell show. This is, it's all of us. It's everybody. And so I don't know. Maybe I look at it different than other artists, but and I know that I do for some, but for me, man, how could you not? How could you? I get so excited about meeting people and I've done a bunch of more podcasts in the last 4 weeks than I have in my entire life. I've done more of these interviews, and how could you not? Like, I don't have to. Here's the thing. I have sat in a car dealership desk and sat at my desk and had my hands on my head with both elbows on the table, thinking to myself, man, I hate who I am as a person right now. I hate where my life is. This is miserable. I can't stand this. So now that my life is changing, I want everyone around me to get as much of a little piece of this as they can, because it's awesome. It's awesome. And if you don't, how could you not want to share this? You would be so selfish to not want to share this thing with everybody else, man.
No, and I think that's a big reason why I became kind of addicted to building the platform as the Scene Projects. It's never been about me. It's about this entire, and especially Midwestern people like us, that there are so many talented people that just don't want to move to Nashville. They don't want to go play that game, but they're extremely talented. They have these really amazing bands, and nobody knows who they are. And for me, I just couldn't stomach it, where I'm like, the least I can do is try to do something. I can put you on my show. So thank you from all of us, JB. And when that moment in the sun comes, and what I equate it to is that we weren't planting a tree, we were planting a forest of trees. And we spend our time watering that community, and very similar to what you do with your church community. I know that you're a pastor and you show up every Sunday and water that. And you said you started with 12 people in that congregation. Now it's over 40, and you're getting together and you're loving you some Jesus. And for us, we're loving us some independent musicians, and we are loving God for the opportunity to do this, to be out here every day, to connect with each other. Because I live in a little town in the middle of South Dakota, brother. Like, probably not much different than your town out there in central Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming here to discover me. So we have to do it ourselves, and you have to build a team to make that possible. We have an international team. I have hosts that are in the United Kingdom. I have hosts that are out there in the Ozarks in Missouri. We have all kinds of people on this network now. A lot of them now nominated for the Midwest Talent Awards. We had 4 different shows and hosts that were nominated. A bunch of our friends who have been guests on the show nominated as well. And it's about recognizing all of us, and not just me. It's not the Bubba Startz show either, JB. And that's why the Scene Projects was such a larger idea. Because even my band's name is Starts and Ends, right? So it's like, it's always been about, look at me and being that, but it was never that, right? Or it was never what I wanted out of it. So to have this opportunity now to lift our entire communities up, I think it's just so damn cool, man.
Yeah. And I just want to say this for everybody that watches this. I just need everybody to know this. I'm kind and I try to be humble, but y'all need to let Bubba Startz know I'm coming for that Midwest Creator of the Year award, because I didn't know about it.
Come on.
And you better tell him, y'all, whoever this Bubba guy is, y'all better let him know that I'm coming for it, because I didn't know about it. Now that I do, I'm like, I want me some of that.
It was funny because it wasn't an award show, and I was very blessed to serve the community, and it's voted on by the members themselves, right?
That's
and
great.
When I saw it was a award for last year's award show, I was like, oh, we're winning that, because I'd have over a third of the members on my show over the last year. Right. And it wasn't even a thing. It's not like I had the intention of like, oh, I'm going to interview all these people so I can win this award. I just went out and started being about the community and serving the community. And then in turn, that community will serve you. Right. And for me, for sure, I've never been about the awards, and I didn't, I didn't care. But seeing what it's done for me, because now I'm able to go, hi, I'm Bubba Startz. I have an award-winning podcast. It has made such a difference. And that's really why we have been adamant about, now the Midwest Talent Awards and having these things out there and helping other people to get that little bit of recognition that helps separate you from the pack. And I hope that in time, working with JB or working with Bubba Startz is something for other artists to separate them from the noise as well. And I think that, your new show that we're going to talk about here soon is going to be something that helps people tell their stories as well, because I think that's the most important part in all of this.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I obviously I'm poking fun a little bit, of course, that's what I do. I can't help myself. Whereas my wife would say, you're irresponsible. And but no, I just think, man, it's so cool to see you guys doing this and having the platform and building it. Like, it's so, because also you and I both know this because you've experienced it. I've experienced it. It's a weird feeling when you realize there are artists that you're going to know, whether it hurts or it hurts to know what it feels like to not be able to have success, to not be able to have those moments. And there's a lot of independent artists out there that might never get the chances that I have. They might never get to do what I'm doing. But if you can, everybody deserves to have a moment, man. Everybody that gives their life to music or comedy or social media or whatever, they deserve a chance. And I think it's my responsibility. I think it's your responsibility. I think it's our responsibility to wrap our arms around some of those guys and go, hey man, I think it matters for someone like myself with what's happening, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful. But it matters for me to look at somebody that is playing tiny little bars and doing a bunch of covers, and they might not get opportunities. It matters to them for me to wrap my arms around them and go, "Hey, man, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see you," right? Because that's all I wanted when nobody cared, right? All I wanted was somebody to go, "Hey man, you're doing a great job," you know? And it's hard when nobody gives you that. So it's, I think it comes with some of the responsibility of this stuff working. Does that make sense?
No doubt. It makes perfect sense. I know you're working on a new podcast. I know you're really excited
Yeah.
about sharing these human stories and having these people out here. Tell us all about it, and then go ahead and plug everything else along the way, and I'll let you get out of here. I know you're a busy man.
No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so we're launching a podcast called "Heavy on the Grace," which I'm so excited about. The fun story behind it is the first time I was trying to figure out podcasts. I did what every new podcaster does. I asked AI what my podcast should be called, and and I couldn't figure out what we were going to do. And we were sitting, we were on the road, and we went and we were talking, and I said, "Hey, let's say grace, right? Let's say grace." And the person next to me who's in my band, they know who they are. They said a curse word. "I want some of that gravy." Like, and I go, and I so I started to pray, and I go, "Lord, we just thank you." So in every prayer every prayer I say, I always start off my prayers and I say, "Lord, we thank you for your grace and your mercy." That's the first thing I say. And so when we were praying, I said, "Lord, I thank you for your grace and your mercy." And I put my hand on my buddy and I go, maybe go a little heavy on the grace for my guy right here. And then I finished praying, and then I stopped and I was like, "Yeah, that's it. That's it." And so just heavy on loving people. And I think that we're in a place right now as a country and as a world where we just need to smile more and laugh, and it ain't so bad. Everybody calm down. We ain't gotta hate each other so bad. Um and yeah, man. And I want to do a podcast logo with like pouring like a gravy boat. I want to do that, heavy on the grace. But yeah, so my goal for the podcast is to bring on some cool people and have real conversations and laugh and talk about stories and do that. And so that's something that I'm so committed to doing. And as you said, when this thing starts to happen, it's so tough to, you got to make sure the content comes out. I have to make sure the record label has what they need. I got to, I'm still at the end of the day, I'm still an independent artist. My team and my buddy Wilson, who's my best. Okay, there you go. Sorry, I think I muted my own microphone. Uh, you know, maybe the Lord told me to stop talking about me for a second. My bad, Lord. My bad.
Oh, well, and you know what? I would love to get you back. We have a show called Love Noise where we're going to get to share some of your music, and I think that would be so incredible, JB, to actually sit down and have a little bit longer conversation. We those span a couple hours, and I think that we would need that just to get into some of the nitty gritty. So, JB, I appreciate you taking a little time for me today. Thank you for being part of the scene.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Thank you for letting me be here. Go check out my new song called Guys That Make Her Cry. It's out on all streaming platforms. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere with a blue check mark. It's me. Come say hi. Tell me that you came from the scene, and I'll say howdy.
Love you, JB. Have a great day, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
This is the Scene Projects. This is the Songwriter Showcase.
Go ahead, take your step across the Barrow County line. You can hear the truth as it whispers through the tops of the Georgia pines. I'm fishing for walleye. Throw that boat in before the morning light. I'm here to stay.
Yeah, well, we're not here just to talk. We're here to play and sing some songs too. So why don't you guys give us a song, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
All right. Yeah.
My dreams were bigger than that small town. I was waiting on the storm to calm.
It's been coming down forever. It's the warmth in the fingertips, where the cold air catches, your understanding slips.
Sliding down the driveway, swearing at the snowplow driving by. It's so easy to forget all the beauty that's there if we'd only look up to the sky.
If I could change your mind, you know that I would. No need to say goodbye, the point is understood. You told me that it wasn't enough, but you gave all you had for me. Before we went our separate ways, I can't blame you, I messed it up.
This day has been an incredible, incredible experience, not only for myself, but for everyone who entered this room. We hope that you enjoy the performances. We hope that you go and follow and find your new favorite songwriter inside of this show. And I pray that this community continues to grow.
The words you said didn't come from above. Used to be able to weather the weather. It rained and I changed. You had enough. If I could turn back time, you know that I would.